challenge you and say that historically, from ancient times right through to this morning, our civil society does not really participate in anything except elections and occasional talk?
That's not really true.
Not really true?
No.
We have a very passive, we are conservative by definition, and that conservatism comes with a passivity.
You see, civil society has also evolved, and civil society evolves according to the governance context in which it's found. In certain countries, when there's a very difficult relationship between government and the citizens, civil society is kind of stifled and it's not vibrant. But as democracy deepens, like for example in Ghana, that democracy has grown steadily over the years, civil society becomes more vibrant because government now becomes more open to working with civil society. They don't see civil society as competition, but they see civil society as complementing their efforts.
You see, I like the fact that you keep saying working. You're not saying talking.
Yes,
remember I said that, for the most part, it looks like, civil society organizations talk. Give me examples of civil societies working in Ghana, where we've had an uninterrupted, democratic process for a while, and in the Ivory Coast, where that process got interrupted. And tell me the roles that civil society organizations have played.
They've played numerous amounts of roles. They've worked in various issues, governance issues, elections issues in Ghana. Many organizations, some of them very well-known organizations, Institute for Democratic Governance, Center for Democratic Development, IEA, various community-based organizations, Send Ghana, WACSI, WIPSIN. There are many organizations that have been working on various issues, governance issues, gender issues, oil and gas issues, sanitation, water and sanitation issues.
And so why is our sanitation situation so poor?
Well, the problem is that...
Why is our gender issue still pending?
Yes, development is a continuum.
Why are our political candidates struggling to outline the agricultural policy in 3 minutes?
Well, well, that's their challenge, But civil society, what we have done is to contribute to that knowledge of our...
I knew you were going to say that, so that is my next follow-up question. That was the debate. What is the relationship between civil society organizations and governments, those who actually make the decisions?
Well, the government is supposed to deliver services, essential services for the citizenry. The government is supposed to make sure that we have an enabling environment for all other actors to thrive. What civil society is doing is not trying to replace government. It's trying to complement government, like I've said, in various things that we do. And so you realize that government now has realized that civil society has a lot of expertise within it and is using some of the expertise and some of the knowledge that we are generating to inform policy.
And what we are doing how you plan to build capacity. Just hold on. I knew you were coming to what we are doing. Just hold that thought. Let me ask Jim a question here. Jim, the topic that you suggested for this morning's discussion is the role of the youth and civil society organizations in political and electoral processes. So I see that you've separated the youth from civil society, and you've separated the political and the electoral processes. Why?
Well, the youth, because they play a key role in electoral and political processes, and they are a part of civil society, within the social.
So why didn't you say the role of the youth in civil society? It says "and civil society." Well, it suggests that they are separate.
Because we identify the strategic role they play, and their significance has been undermined. Participation of youth in political processes, even their representation.
Undermined? Isn't that our history traditionally all across West Africa, like, the Akan belt? Young people, that is why we're called the youth. Exactly. We don't have a say in the decision making. You have to be an elder. And above that, you have to be a royal to actually decide what happens at the community level. Now, with the institution of the democratic process, nothing much has changed. The youth are still not part of the decision-making process, by and large.
Thank you very much, and that is exactly why that topic stands the way it does, because it stands to point out those key components in our society who are being kept aside in those platforms where their voice and their words are
the role of the youth is just to obey and not complain. And when the political process breaks down and there are no more any elections, and instead of ballots we have bullets, it is the role of the youth to go out and fight. Agree or disagree?
the youth play they come in there, they are the ones who stand at the forefront of fighting. If you look at the case of Liberia and Sierra Leone, yes, you would say the youth actually are the ones.
Yes, but not when it comes to cleaning gutters and making sure that, public toilets have clean and healthy conditions and everything else, on road safety. It looks like our youth are not playing any role, and there must be a reason for it. What do you think it is?
Well, I wouldn't totally agree that the youth are not doing anything. If you look at Ghana, for example, those of us who are doing some of the small trades, they are the youth. The taxi drivers, they are the youth. The trotro drivers, they are the youth. And they are contributing significantly to, the governance of the nation, be it directly or indirectly.
I'm talking about direct contribution. We all know about our history, the participation of the youth in Kumi Preko. But I'm yet to see a clean me Preko in the Kaneshi market, on the Abubloshi market, clean me Preko. And then a demonstration by young people to clean it up once and for all, and then throw the challenge to the authorities to maintain that clean.
That comes with the open space that the government, puts in place and creates opportunities for clear and indicative engagement of youth. And once that open space is not there, the youth keep on, pushing, urging government to listen to us and forcing their way, in those high decision-making platforms, platforms that enable them now to have those strong, participative roles.
I would still challenge that. Charles. I would go back to Edmund Burke and say that the only thing needed for evil to prosper, for good men to do nothing, by your definition, civil society are all the good people outside of government. The youth are the largest and the most dynamic part. The reason why we have our problems is because we've been doing nothing. So how are you going to build capacity?
Just to go back to that before I come to that, I think that one of the challenges of civil society has been communicating what we've been doing. We've had a challenge there. So there's all these perceptions that nothing is really being done.
Okay, I'll be a bit kinder. It's not that we've been doing nothing, we've not been doing enough.
That is true across board. It's not only civil society. Government, private sector, we have all not been doing enough. Because development itself is evolving all the time, you need to be very focused and targeted in the things that you're doing. But like I said, we have a challenge of communicating clearly some of the results that we've been able to achieve. So there's this perception out there that civil society is all talk, but it's not all talk. It's contributed significantly. The democracy that we are enjoying right now, that has become, gained so much global recognition and praise, is because of the contributions of civil society organizations and civil society actors who pushed for us to have this multi-party democracy that we are being praised for. And the organizations have done significant amount of work. But you're right. I agree with you. It's not enough.